So right now our Windows server has been promoted to become a domain controller. So it's time to join our client devices to become a member of our domain environment. So here you can see we have a Windows 10 device, and I also have a Windows 11 device. So what I want to do right now is actually to join this Windows 10 to become a member of this domain environment. So to actually join this client device, the Windows 10 operating system to our Windows server, we have to do the following. First of all, we have different ways. We can actually do that using our Windows settings. You can actually go to your control panel, or we can as well use PowerShell to actually join this device to become a member of the domain environment. So what you need to do right now is I can just right click my start menu, and then we go to settings. So when settings open, we need to actually, here you can see we have the different options. But what you need to click is actually your system. So when you click on system, here under the system settings, then click on click about. And from about, you can see we have the option called rename this PC. We've actually already changed our device name, that's the host name of this device, to C001. So to join this device to a domain server, what you need to do is you need to actually click the advanced system settings. And from the advanced system settings here, you can see we have a computer name. So at this moment, you can see this device belongs to a work group. So what I want to do right now is to click change. And mind you, before you actually join this device to a work group, you want to actually do some tests. So if I go to let me just open the CMD, put the command prompt. So by opening the command prompt, we want to first of all ping our server to see if we are able to reach the server. So if I do a ping DC01 and I try to ping that device, you can see we are actually receiving a response. And also I can actually do an NS lookup. Let me just do an NS lookup for this say 01, and let's see if we're going to get a response. You can see the server is actually dc01.kelvglobalict.com, and that is actually the IP address. So let me close this, and then we need to actually click on domain, and here we're going to enter kelvglobalict.com and then click OK. So by clicking OK, you actually need to provide an administrator account that have a full right to the domain environment. So now we need to actually provide a username for that domain. So I'm going to enter the following. I'm going to enter administrator and then enter the password for the administrator, and then okay, just we need to enter the password. Let me just enter the password again and then hit OK. By hitting OK, you can see that it says welcome to the Kelv Global ICT domain. So what I need to do is to click on OK. And here we're going to actually, here you can see you must restart your computer to apply these changes. So let me just click OK, and then we can click close. And now we can actually decide to actually restart our device. So if I go back again to my domain controller and I go to tools and I go to Active Directory users and computers, let's just wait for some seconds for this to get started. And if I go to computers, here you can see we have our device. That's a C001, which has just been actually joined to this domain environment. So if I double click on it, you can see the operating system is actually Windows 10 Professional, and it's actually members of the domain computer. So let me just close that. So now our C001 is actually getting started. You can see some updates are being installed. So what we can actually do is we can actually perform the same action for our Windows 11 device. First of all, you want to actually make sure that you can actually ping your Windows server. So let me try to start the command prompt, and let's see if we can actually ping our server from our Windows 11 device. So let's just click OK. So from here, I'm going to actually ping the DC01. Let's see if we can get any response. You can see we have some response, which means that our device, our Windows 11, is able to contact our domain server. So what I need to do right now is I can actually just go to my start menu, and from my start menu, I can click on settings. So by opening the Windows settings here, we can actually just scroll down, and if we scroll down, we need to go to the about, which gives us the device specification, rename PC and Windows specification. And here you can see it says rename this PC, but we want to actually go to the domain or work group. So click on domain or work group. Then from here we can actually do the same, just the way we did it for Windows, our Windows 10 device. We can just click on change, and here we can say domain, and then we can now add our Kelv Global ICT. You have to make sure that you type in the right name. If not, you're going to receive an error message, and then click OK. So now we have been asked to actually enter our domain server users account. So I need to enter an administrator account, and then let's enter the password, and then click OK. Here we go. Here you can see it says welcome to the kelvglobalict.com domain. So now we need to click OK, and here we need to click OK again. So it says you must restart your computer to apply the changes. So let's click OK once more, and then click close. So we need to actually restart. Let me just restart now. And if I go back again to my domain controller, and here you can see we are only seeing the C001. But if I do a refresh, here you can see we have our C003, which is this device. And mind you, the DC001 is actually located on a domain controller. Here you can see it's actually an organization unit, so it's actually located in our domain controller. So our C001 is actually still being updated. You can see some updates were installed, and at this moment it's still in about 100%. So let me just wait for some seconds for this update to get installed, and let's log on to our device, not as a standalone. We are not going to log on locally to this device, but we are going to log on to our enterprise environment, that is to our Kelv Global ICT environment. Here we go. You can see that my device just get restarted. So if I double click on this device right now, you can see here I'm being asked to enter my password. But mind you, if you enter your password at this moment, you're going to log on locally to this device. So if you are logging in to a device which has been joined to a domain server for the first time, what you need to do is you need to click on other user. So by clicking other user, you can see it gives me the option. It says sign in to Kelv Global ICT. So which means now I can actually enter an administrator account, because I've not actually created any account in my Active Directory. So let me just use the standard administrator account. But first of all, I will need to do the following, because it will think I'm going to, oh sorry, let me just use the Kelv Global ICT, and then do a backslash, and then enter administrator, and then we can now enter our password. So because I've not created any credentials, because on this Windows 10 device we still have the administrator account, so by trying to type the administrator account without the Kelv Global ICT, it will think that you are going to log on locally as well. So now we can try to actually log on as other user, and then an administrator profile will be created for us for Kelv Global ICT. Here we go. You can see that an account is now being created for me. It says we are getting everything ready for you. So the same thing, if I go back again to my Windows 11 device, so if I go back again to my Windows 11 device, you can see that update are actually being installed on this device, and now my device is trying to restart. So now it's going to take some several minutes actually, and then we will actually be logged on to our device. So the next video we're actually going to see, I'm going to show you how to actually troubleshoot if, for example, you try to join this device to a domain and you receive an error message. So let me show you the different techniques we can actually use to resolve this problem. If, for example, you want to join a Windows 10 device or a Windows 11 device to a domain server and you're receiving an error message, I'm going to show you how to actually resolve that problem in the next video.